the first team we're going to jump into right now, we're going to go right down the list. We're going to go with the Buffalo Chicken, Buffalo Sabers. The Sabres,
Bum, bum,
the
bum.
team who is most definitely destined to finish in last place in the Atlantic. No questions asked, they have no chance.
Absolutely.
They are rolling into this year knowing there's no shot. So maybe we can suck enough to get big Connor Bedard.
Hey, but they
Maybe.
paid Tage Thompson, though.
They did
Great.
pay Tage Thompson. Good for him.
Great.
You're going to be making a lot of money on a terrible team.
And they'll do
Good
it again
job,
next year
Jeff
to
Skinner.
Dylan Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, the Buffalo Sabres, they still have $19+ million in cap space, but there was no real big moves. Like nobody
Don't worry,
in, nobody
Connor.
out.
They're going to use it. They're going to use it when
Patrick
Patrick Kane plays there for 35 seconds before it's a three-way trade to New York.
Probably.
The better team in New York.
Wouldn't that be wild?
So did you hear? I don't know if you listened to the episode of 32 Thoughts where Friedman said like it's guaranteed it's a three-team trade. When it happens, he's guaranteeing it's a three-team.
I haven't listened to the episode yet, but I mean everybody knows that. I mean it's pretty obvious.
And Buffalo and Arizona are those two other teams I think that'll be there ready to take a second-round pick for $8 million in cap.
I think although Buffalo's going to be bad in another kind of status quo year, there's two sort of storylines for the Sabres that I'm going to watch that are going to be interesting. One is it's a full year of Peyton Krebs and Alex Tuck, and those fucking third jerseys are fire.
One more. I do want to see how Owen Power translates to the NHL.
Whatever.
Connor doesn't know what that is. It's like, who's Owen Power?
Bullshit.
Yeah. The third jerseys are unreal.
They are.
If Jack Eichel still played in that team, I'd buy a jersey. I have a Buffalo Sabres Jack Eichel t-shirt somewhere downstairs. It was fun because people were like, how could you get that shirt? They're in the Bruins division. Because they're not going to be a threat for a long time. I can wear this shirt proud. He won't play there by the time they're a threat.
And now it's a relic.
Yeah, now it's just cool. Now it's just a cool shirt to have. But
yeah,
I got it right when he changed his number to number 9. I was in New York City. And I went to the NHL store, and I got it on the day they had them all there. It's pretty cool.
Nice. It's got a good story behind it.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't even want to waste another second talking about the Sabres. Do you guys? I love the third jerseys. Detroit Red Wings, different story.
A lot to unpack on the Red Wings.
Significantly different story.
Once again, they are a threat.
Kevin, speak. You two go off on this.
I speak. No, I'm kind of excited for the Red Wings. Hey, just a little shout out. We have some great Red Wings writers on Inside the Rink. Garth, he's a big part of what we do. Also a fellow editor, does the Production Line podcast. So go give him a listen, read his articles if you're a Red Wings person.
Oof, with the plug.
Shout out.
And we know that Garth listens. We love you, Garth.
Yeah, Garth's the man.
Shameless plug.
And then we have this guy, Chris. Chris writes good articles too. Very knowledgeable guy. He goes very in depth. And they're out early in the morning at 5 a.m. for those that wake up early.
Ooh.
They got tea and crumpets writer. He likes to catch you guys before you have your first sip.
No, but I mean, I'm on the hype train with Kevin, right? I mean, Detroit still has a boatload of cap space. They're over $8 million in cap space still. They got Derek Lalonde coming in from Tampa Bay to run the bench. Now, they lost Sam Gagner, Mark Stahl, and Thomas Greiss. But the list of players that they brought in this offseason is redonkulous. Andrew Kopp, David Perron, Dominic Kubalik, Ben Sherratt, Ville Husso. Whoo!
I didn't even realize it was that many.
Yeah, and the rookies are going to be better. Cider is going to be a tank.
Lucas
Raymond, and Dylan Larkin's super rejuvenated, have all his talent, and Veron is healthy.
And Bertuzzi can go to Canada.
Bertuzzi can go to Canada. I was waiting for that one.
And there, who is the other young defense? Oh, Simon Edvinsson too. Who's going to be pushing like that? And they have the best goaltending prospect too. Kosa. The Red Wings, man.
They are going to be the kings of this division.
Stevie Y.
Yeah, the Red Wings are going to be good. The Red Wings are there.
Oh,
They're
it
right there.
get
They
They're
are
set
the
up.
team. The Red Wings are the team. The Red Wings are the team that can push the Bruins, the Panthers, or the Lightning out.
Do you know a player that we've totally forgot about on the Red Wings who's been kind of a health bomb, but supposedly going to be healthy this year?
Who?
Blues legend Robbie Fabry.
Yeah, super talented kid.
Very talented, but
Super
had a health
talented.
problem.
Yeah, well, his knees, man. He's blown out his knees like 4 or 5 times. I think it was in an interview on Spit and Chicklets, or not even an interview on Spit and Chicklets. They were talking about when Witt and Biz were on their PTO there in their last year, and they saw Robbie Fabry, they'd been at a training camp, and they saw Robbie Fabry, and they were like, "Oh my god!" And they saw the kid the first time he's out on the ice. Been hurt since, but yeah, no, like he's super talented for sure. The Red Wings.
I think they have the best tandem for goalies in the NHL, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Red Wings could be the team that really makes a push. It's hard though because I just don't see. The Bruins could be a wild card. The Red Wings could be a wild card team.
Absolutely.
They really could. I wouldn't be surprised if they grab the 8th seed because I really see the division falling with the Maple Leafs 1, and then
I don't think so. We'll get into that.
It's because of the goaltending. I know it's just the goal. I know. I keep forgetting they don't have Campbell. I really do. I don't trust.
We'll talk about the Leafs in a little bit, though.
We'll talk about how the division shakes out at the end. I need to hear all the information. Next team.
The next one.
The Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers.
Panthers made a big splash. They made a big splash.
So let me give you the additions and the losses.
They're worse.
What do you want to hear first? The additions or the losses?
The additions. The additions is just Matthew Tkachuk.
And Colin White.
Oh, yeah, Whitey.
And they've got Mark Stahl and Eric Stahl coming in on PTOs.
Great.
And Eric Stahl has actually played very well so far in camp with the team. However, they lost Mackenzie Weegar, Huberdeau, Sherratt, Marchment, Giroux, and Joe Thornton.
Yeah, no, like if the Red Wings were going to push a team out of the top 4, it's the Panthers.
Absolutely.
I mean that. Like Tkachuk is better long term, but he ain't better next year than Huberdeau. And he's definitely not better than Huberdeau and Weegar. The more I look back at this trade, shout out to Brad Treliving.
And a first.
He smacked them around.
And a first.
I don't.
And they don't have a first-round pick until 2027.
That's because they traded him away.
Too.
They traded him away for Claude Giroux. They thought Claude Giroux was going to. Claude Giroux
and
was
Ben
never.
Sherratt.
They would never stay in there.
Bounce.
I just don't. And then they fired their coach, who their whole team loved. And they brought in a guy. The guy from Winnipeg. What's his name? Why can't I think of his name?
Paul Maurice.
Paul Maurice, who's a known dickhead to players. I don't
know about that.
No, I thought he was a hard guy to play for.
No, he's been well known as a player's coach.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Really?
Check the facts.
Yeah, that's fine. Who was not? They were like happy to see him go in Winnipeg.
No, but him and Wheeler were boys.
All right, no, fine.
I don't know about that, but I will agree with you that the Panthers are the ones in this division from last year's playoff kind of round up there to, I think, be the ones to fall out of it. And then it's going to be a real tough climb for them because if you do fall out of the playoff contention, right? Well, now all of these first round picks that you've given up in trades are all pretty solid picks. And it's just going to be, a snowball effect, if you will, of suck for the Florida Panthers. And it's honestly really sad to see because they had such a great year and gained so much momentum in that market, and being able to see the Battle of Florida in the playoffs, even though it was a quick 4 games, was something really exciting to see. Like, you want to see those rivalries built in the NHL. And I think that this offseason absolutely ruined that. For the Panthers.
It was just bad offseason for the Panthers. They're not going to win the President's Trophy. That's for sure. They're not going to. They're not even going to win the Atlantic. I still have them as the last team to make the playoffs because I think the Bruins are better than they are now. I really do. Like
I agree.
I'm not. The Cowboys won 23-16. By the way, Cooper Rush, GOAT. I don't know. I look at the Panthers and I think they lost a little swagger with Huberdeau too. Huberdeau, I think, was a big guy in that locker room, rolling in Lambos, McLarens, all kinds of different crazy cars every day. I think he was a super well liked guy.
Him and Barkov and Ekblad, they've been together for quite a while. So, I mean, it would probably be like the equivalent of, if or when the Bruins trade Marchand, in some type of rebuild or retool. I think that's very similar, if you will.
Yeah, just the culture guy.
Yep.
The Montreal Canadiens.
Hoof.
Las Habitants.
What an offseason for Montreal. Now, they bring in the new, GM, Ken Hughes.
They cuck Shane Wright.
They cuck Shane Wright, who stares them down at the draft. But I think everybody realizes that Gorton is pulling the strings here. Like, this isn't Kent Hughes really running this team from a general manager perspective. Gorton has definitely got his hands in this team. You look at the losses for them this offseason. They traded away Petrie and Ryan Poehling to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Mike Matheson. They traded Romanoff away at the draft, which they turned around and used to get Kirby Dach from Chicago.
Forgot about that.
Then they traded away the Shea Weber contract because he's not going to play again. And they get Dadonov back. They draft Slavkovsky. They bring in Sean Monahan. But at the same token, Carey Price is probably not going to play again this season, if not ever. There's a lot of talk that Carey Price is done, period.
And Jake Allen needs a contract.
He's not even guaranteed to stay. There's been tons of rumors that lots of teams are calling and asking about him. So there's a lot of questions in Montreal, but the core of the Canadiens is really young, but extremely skilled. And, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky. I would even maybe throw Sean Monahan in there. He's not like overly old by any means necessary.
New captain.
A health scenario. And
new captain don't speak French.
And the new captain, yeah, but according to Brad Marchand, it's going to be an awful decision. So have to throw that in there.
Yeah, I think Marchand just meant more in general, but yeah, he was definitely. He was
stupid. Definitely talking about.
It's stupid.
Suzuki.
Like, it is stupid. I agree. Stop naming kids with no NHL experience captains. Don't be so scared to name a veteran for a couple years till these guys hit their mid-20s, or late. Legit. Like, there's no 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 35-year-old NHL veterans listening to 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds who are telling them, it's just not. It's stupid. It's just to sell jerseys.
Spit in the face to Brendan Gallagher.
Yeah, it's asinine. Like, I hate that, actually. I actually agree 100%.
You're going to have people that come out and they're like, oh, well, Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid, they were named captain when they were really young. Well,
yeah, and guess what? But McDavid has already came out. Dude, yeah, they're generational, and McDavid said a fucking week ago on 32 Thoughts, he had no idea what it meant to be a captain when he became one, and he was too young. He just said it. It's like, dude, these guys, they talk about a young Landeskog. No idea what he was doing at the start. A natural leader, yes, but still, you don't find out how to do it. It takes time to learn to be a leader.
The franchise just wants to slap C's and A's on certain people to
sell jerseys.
Sell some jerseys, to sell some loyalty. Hope. Yeah.
And to sell that when they resign in 2 or 3 years, it'll be cheaper because they feel like they owe something to that franchise. It's all about the bottom line. It's all about the bottom line. Think about it. Let's say you're new to a field You don't get put in a management position right away if you're new to a field, but that's what they're doing in the NHL to these kids. It sets them up for failure, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I mean, the expectations are
the Canadiens are 2 years away.
Tier.
Canadiens are 2 years away from being a pretty good team. 2 or 3 years, I think. If they make the right moves.
And I believe they will.
Yeah, no, they're smart guys.
Jeff Gorton is an absolute wizard. Like, look what he set up for the New York Rangers right now.
Yep.
You know, and then if you even go back further than that, when he was with the Boston Bruins, a lot of people forget he's the one that signed Zdeno Chara. He signed Mark Savard. He drafted Brad Marchand. Like,
he has a Stanley Cup ring from that 2011 team he helped build.
Absolutely.
He does. They gave him one. They had him come back and get one.
Oh, really? They did?
Yeah, they did it. Yeah, they
I guess I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah, no, they legit gave him a ring. Like, they gave him a ring for his help in making that team.
Shit, he 100% should. He did some significant moves, and I think he was maybe general manager for what, a cup of tea, like a month or two before they moved on to Peter Chiarelli. Rest in peace. He's not actually dead, but he is in every Bruins fan's memory.
Yeah, because of the Tyler Seguin trade. Okay, next team. Canadiens, are we done with them? I mean, the Canadiens have a lot of question marks. They have great young talent. They're a team that, like, Canadiens are coming into Boston. Like, you're not just going to bet the puck line of the Bruins because there's a chance the Canadiens snap 18 goals in the net at any time.
Their roster is going to flop a lot this year. There is still way more trades coming for this team.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Kev?
Oh, no, I'm still high on Kirby Dach.
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm still high on Kirby Dach, too. It takes time. It takes time for big centers. Connor gives no one time. You either are like elite right away or he doesn't. His wrist is fine now, Connor. His wrist is fine.
I'm not going to buy it until I see.
Wrists are not career ending, brother. His wrist is going to be okay.
Prove it. I'm a prove it to me guy. I am that asshole old man NHL fan who says, you know,
fuck them kids.
Jason Robertson signed the damn bridge contract and play instead of asking for an absurd amount of money.
Oh, Connor.
Connor
scored 40 goals.
Hey, I get it. Once.
No, it doesn't. No,
it's like the Tage Thompson contract.
Yeah, I mean, his bridge deal is going to be like 3 by 8, and if not, he ain't going to stay there. And dude, why would you want to stay in Dallas? Like, I don't like that team's in the wrong direction.
Yeah. They definitely are.
All they got to do is these young guys just justify it enough, and they'll start LeBroning all over the place. Justify them just a little bit, and they'll start LeBroning.
I mean, you are starting to turn me on that as far as, like, you know, the league is focusing more on the younger players, and they are going to get paid more. I get that.
They have the power.
And with the cap built to jump, it's like, sign him now to this deal. It's going to look like nothing.
I just hate it.
I'm going to tell you guys,
players get these massive contracts before they've done a good season, and then they shit
I wish
the
you listened
bed.
to 32 Thoughts today. They had on an agent, and he said, so historically the NHL always paid people for their production. And that's not the case anymore, and the agents know it. They're paying for what the organization projects that player to do. The agents are figuring out what that is, and that's what they're asking for. If not, these players are going to start walking because they don't care. These agents are going to start telling teams to offer sheet their player because they don't care. Times are changing. These kids don't give a shit.
I'm really going to make their money this tomorrow.
That's the thing. Some teams are going to pay him.
Yeah, like it's just like it's the time. These kids are different. They're different, and they're gonna get their money.
I think that, like, I'm not going to go too far on this because I think that I want to spend a lot more time on a different podcast.
I mean, and that's none of us are educated enough either. I think on it.
The NHL salary cap itself will need to change based on what kind of contracts we're seeing.
So the salary cap is expected to go up $1 million next season.
No. I'm not saying money-wise. I'm saying, like, how contracts are done. Like in the NFL, you know, you have X amount of guaranteed money. And then if you get cut or released, like, that's that.
Yeah.
In the NHL, everything is 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
So if you sign, you know, Tage Thompson to that money contract and he turns around and is a
That's not,
complete
buddy.
dud,
Here's the
you're
deal.
stuck. You're fucked.
That's not going away until escrow does, though, man.
Maybe that's a trade that some of these owners
would
are
have
willing
to
to
go
make.
away before they'd be able to do that. And I just don't know.
I think once the league gets to a certain point of
escrow's got to go
revenue.
away. It's supposed to go away.
Yeah.
Like the players can't just be paying back the owners all the time. Like that's not.
Yeah.
But the Ottawa Senators.
Another day.
The Ottawa Senators.
Hype.
The team I'm the highest on.
The hype train.
Probably a little bit more so than the Detroit Red Wings. So let's go through
schnitzel, man. They got the schnitzel.
They get rid of Colin
Talking
White.
to Germany, I went to Oktoberfest on Saturday.
Oh, God.
And there was one moment where I was eating a bratwurst and I had potato pancakes in front of me, and I thought about Timmy Stew.
Can you tell a slight pause? Can you tell the story about the people, waltzing in on you while you're having a religious moment?
Like,
Jake and sauerkraut don't mix.
No, I don't. I would never eat sauerkraut. It's gross. I was just going to the bathroom at this thing, and like the door just doesn't lock to the stall, and like what didn't close either. So like there's like 4 people just open the door while I was just trying to poop.
And you're just looking up at them like,
yeah,
hey.
I'm just like, hey. I'm like, hey, and then they're like, oh, sorry, and they just went and pissed in a large trough that was in this. So here's a little background. Normally, we go to Oktoberfest at this little breakfast place in town. The breakfast place has been bought, and we decided we're going to go to an actual Oktoberfest, which was a lot different than the one at our breakfast place we normally go to. And we were at a German club. But we went – no, Oktoberfest is not in October. It's in September. But we
I'm not that cultured, I guess.
Yeah, we go to we really just went there because the band that usually plays at our breakfast place was there, the Bohemian Bros. And they play the skis, the horn, the bells. They're wild. Zupa. Yeah, it's fun. I like the Oktoberfest. And I think that Timmy Stew does too. And he's going to pop 36 goals this year in the NHL. Book it.
He's playing with DeBrincat and Giroux. So, I mean,
book it.
Nothing is, out of possibilities. But they had arguably the best offseason out of any team. The only team that's going to really rival them is the Red Wings, who we've already talked about. But you bring in Claude Giroux, you bring in Alex DeBrincat, you bring in Cam Talbot, who I think is going to be the sneaky big addition to this team. I mean, you got rid of Gustafsson and Matt Murray, and you kind of revamped the goaltending department there. They traded Connor Brown to the Capitals. Colin White went to Florida. And then, of course, one of Kevin's favorite things, the Kevy rumor mill. Jacob Chychrun is still hot under the collar for people in Ottawa.
It's heating back up right now, too.
I know another team that's interested in him.
Who? The Bruins?
St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, okay.
No, they have no cap space.
No, it's been reported.
Good luck making that trade.
It was reported today
with what Arizona wants.
They're interested. But it's still the leaders in the doghouse is.
I think 31 teams are interested in Chychrun, but is reality
not for the price. I think Connor's frozen. Kevin, is he frozen for you too, brother?
Yeah.
Just give me a little. Okay, so we'll just
Well, it wasn't me for once.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are very interested in Chychrun.
Don't blame my island Wi-Fi for this.
I won't. The Senators are good. They're going to be good for a long time. If DeBrincat signs, they definitely need DeBrincat to re-sign.
That's the biggest thing right there.
Yeah.
He came out. He's like, I'm not in a rush. I want to see how this goes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Fair.
Test
within
the
his rights.
But
within his rights. Very within his rights. Who are we to tell him he can't do that?
And speaking of the Wi-Fi and, me freezing up, I got good news. I actually made the call today. My Mediacom pissed me off enough that I am switching providers and getting fiber internet Friday morning.
That's awesome. That's big time. It's huge. You're gonna like it a lot. It just doesn't lag anymore. It's
so happy.
I've had just Dish and stuff my whole life. Getting fiber optic internet is so much better. It's just so much better. It's life changing.
Too bad they don't have it on islands.
Yeah, no. What do you got? Kevin has like the bunny ear antennas. He like licks his finger in a rainstorm and he gets HBO and shit. Yes, so
He's got to wrap the things.
What do you
in
have? What do you have on the island? Cox? Is Cox on the island?
No, we only have.
Oh, you have Comcast, Xfinity,
Yeah.
Comcast. Yeah, no, I knew that. I
Dude,
used to use your login.
They run like 3 large cables from the mainland underwater out to the island.
Yeah. All right, let's keep this thing going. Senators, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be good.
Not gonna make the playoffs, I don't think.
Not good enough, but they're gonna be good.
They're gonna be good.
Next team on the list.
Oh, I hope it is.
The Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oof, not quite yet. I was hoping we were going somewhere.
No, we're
else.
doing them last. We're doing them last.
Okay.
The Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh, sorry, this is hockey. Tampa Bay Lightning. Before we get into anything, just want to, if we have any listeners in Florida or in the Tampa Bay area, just say, we're saying our prayer for you guys and hunker down or get out. Tampa Bay Lightning. They're the same team they have been, minus some major pieces. They lost Palat this year. They lost McDonough. A regression is only natural at this point. They're still a playoff team. I don't think they're a Stanley Cup contender. They're a contender. I don't think they're going to win the Stanley Cup because at some point attrition has to set in. They're too old of a team for attrition not to set in. And losing McDonough and Palat are major pieces to just lose. You can't just lose those guys. I also think they overpaid Saranac, and I think they overpaid Sergachev a little bit. And I don't think those are the best moves.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to, but I just – they still have Vasilevsky, though.
They brought in Nemestikov, who I think is going to be a very underrated addition.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who will do good with fellow Ruskies.
Absolutely.
Beniers just had a sick goal in a preseason game against the Oilers. He absolutely went top cheddar.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take a peek at that later. One of the other additions they made was Ian Cole from the Carolina Hurricanes, who, I mean, if you look at how Tampa Bay does business, he's going to plug and play, baby.
He'll score 7 to 9 goals.
Yeah.
Just like that's what he –
But Tampa Bay, like, this is the thing that sucks for Tampa. Like, you're in LTIR every single year. So your only way to continue to add players is by adding more LTIR.
He's not going to score 7 to 9 goals. That was a fib.
Maybe 5, 4.
2. He scored 2 last year.
Yeah, but that was on the Hurricanes.
Maybe 3. I don't know. Yeah, LTIR.
The gritty Hurricanes.
The gritty Hurricanes. Get out of here. That was from last episode. But I think, like, your point that you made is Vasilevsky. I mean, he's the best goaltender in the NHL. I mean,
the Russian
that carries a lot of weight. That's 90% of the problem if you have a team.
Yeah, he's like a mix between the Cat Gaffney and Goldberg. He's got just the Connor, did you not watch Mighty Ducks? You didn't get the reference? You've never watched Mighty Ducks?
I have not watched the Mighty Ducks. I take that back. I might have watched the very first one many years ago.
How old is your son? All right.
That's the perfect age.
Nah, probably
if it doesn't have dinosaurs in it, he's not interested.
Yeah, he's not comprehending that. We're going to have to wait till 5. All right, I'll give you a pass on that. Okay. I was going to start bitching that he's not on the ice, but again, give him 2
But the Mighty Ducks jersey is one of my favorite jerseys. It's in my top 5.
Cue the duck boats. Lightning are good.
I think they're like getting ahead of here, but they are, in my opinion, the winner of this division. Are they going to go far in the playoffs? I don't think so.
I think they're just,
but I think they win the division. I don't know because of.
I don't know if they care to win the division. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know if they care to. As weird as that is, like I don't know that the Lightning have it in them to come out and just blow people away at the start of the year. They don't. They need time to get the wheels moving. They need the WD-40 to get deep in the bearings.
And like the reason why I say they're not going to go far in the playoffs, I don't think they're going to be able to make any additions at the trade deadline.
No.
I mean, they gave away so much of their capital over the last couple of years. And I mean, if you look at the Brandon Hagel trade, holy hell. They gave away 2 first-round picks, and they gave away 2 younger players in that deal for 1 player. just because he was locked up for 2 years at a really reasonable cap hit. But, I mean, they've got Nick Paul back again, who was a stud for them last year. I think he's going to be your underrated star player this year for the Tampa Bay Lightning, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I can hear your crickets.
They're horrible. And you know what? It's not just me to like put this on record here. I've been talking to some people like at work and things like that, and everybody is in agreement.
Is that what you guys are talking about, the water cooler? You're like, you hear them crickets?
Absolutely. The crickets out here are awful this year. Like I told you on one of the last podcasts that we did, I was out mowing my lawn and literally dozens of crickets were jumping out of the way of the lawnmower as I was going up and down the yard. I'm like, where are all of these things coming from? Like, do I need to light my backyard on fire or what? Probably not a good idea. My fence would probably burn down, and then my neighbor would.
You do a controlled burn, buddy.
Yeah,
Jake's a firefighter.
You just gotta dig it out. Take it out. What you could go to. Do you guys got Home Depot down there?
Yeah, we got Home Depot. Come on now.
So like,
dude, it's the Midwest.
When you walk in Home Depot, they usually have a ton of insecticide right when you walk into the right. And it's usually like $9. Just get some of those and just pepper your lawn with it.
And then not let my kids or my dog run around in the
15 minutes
for a little
just
bit.
15 minutes, buddy. Just keep them in their cages for 15 minutes. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Here we go, baby.
So the Toronto Maple Leafs to me are very, very talented. They're cursed, but they're very talented. Is this the year they break through and get out of the first round?
No.
I don't know if they have the goaltending too, but I think they have the offensive firepower that is finally going to do it. I don't think Austin Matthews will be stopped this year. Austin Matthews could score 65, 70 goals. He is that good. Their defense is okay. I would like to see them re-sign and get what's his name, Sandin in there. I think he's very important to this team.
So I'm going to touch on the Matthews thing. I don't think that he's going to have as easy of a year scoring goals in his own division. Like, if you think about it, the only two teams that have, or three teams that have mediocre or less goaltending, Buffalo, Montreal, and then themselves, is a big question mark in Toronto.
It's still like
everywhere else is, pretty solid. But let's just talk about their goaltending for a second, because I think
it's all about Matt Murray.
The biggest storyline of the team. They lose Jack Campbell. They get rid of Peter Mrazek in the cap of Chicago. Samsonov from Chicago, I am personally extremely high on.
Yeah, Chicago. He came from Washington.
I mean, Chicago, Washington. I was looking at the name Peter Mrazek and said Chicago. But I am extremely high on Samsonov. However, Matt Murray played with some of the coaching staff on Toronto in juniors.
Yeah,
know exactly what they're getting here. And let's not forget, like, a lot of people
he's a cup champion.
2-time cup champion. Now, mind you, Marc-Andre Fleury played a lot of the games during the regular season to get them into the playoffs, but he played when it counted. Okay?
Yeah,
he pushed them through the playoffs and won. I honestly think that Matt Murray kind of, had little concussion brain almost in Ottawa with the amount of pucks that he was just getting hammered with on a really crappy team for 2 years, or 1 to 2 years. And that's honestly going to be like the storyline. Either the Toronto Maple Leafs goaltending is going to be lights out and we're going to be like, holy shit, this team can go to the Stanley Cup, or they are going to be complete dumpster fire.
They're going to be 2012 to 2015 Philadelphia Flyers. Just a team that has all the pieces but the goalies. So we'll see. I mean, I do fully think that Samsonov is super talented, super athletic, and super crackable. He's an egg that can be cracked. I think Matt Murray is super talented, super low in confidence. and he's getting older and slower. So we'll see. But the Leafs have every piece of the puzzle.
And they
Other
added a
than
lot
that.
of bottom six.
Yeah, I mean,
significant talent.
they're good. The Maple Leafs are good, and there's no way around it. They're the best Maple Leafs team that they've had in the last 4 to 5 years. They're very good, but there is something to be said with the sports psychology within this team.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they might need to get worse before they move further.
Maybe.
They might need to lose a Mitch Marner. They might need to lose a Nylander and get a veteran presence in there, or a guy who can just be like, we can get through this first round. We can do this. Because I fully think that within the head of their leaders, within the head of Matthews, Tavares, and Marner and Nylander, there is doubt. There's doubt there. Those guys
that's what they were looking for in Giordano.
Yeah, and it's what they were looking for in Joe Thornton. I think it's what they were looking for in Patrick Marleau.
Jason Spezza.
It just didn't. It
None of it's
worked.
worked out.
It hasn't worked. Seattle Kraken got Morgan Geekie too in that draft, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Kraken have some talent.
They do, but that's a story for another day, my brother.
Why don't we do that next? Why don't we do the Pacific next week?
We can.
I'd love to do the Pacific next week. Little teaser. We're going to do the Pacific next week. The Maple Leafs are good. Connor, give me your top 4 teams in the East.
Ooh, my top 4 teams.
In the East
order?
or the Atlantic?
The Atlantic, sorry.
Do you want it in order, or can I just lay them out?
You can just lay them out. You know what? We only gave 3 teams from the Metropolitans, all of us, I think. So we can give 5 teams.
Okay. So I am going to go, and I'm going to actually put mine in order because I'm feeling risky business. So I can listen to this again later on in the year and see how good or awful I am. I'm going to go Tampa Bay, Toronto, Boston, Detroit, Florida.
What'd you do? Okay, no. Okay, I got it.
Tampa, Toronto, Boston,
yeah,
Detroit,
mine's
Florida.
Okay. I'll give mine's going to be Toronto, Boston,
Ooh, homer pick.
Tampa, Detroit, Florida.
Mine was the same as Jake.
So we all have Ottawa missing.
Yeah, Ottawa missing.
I don't think they're there yet.
Do you think DeBrincat will want to stay around?
Depends on how much fun he has with Matthews and Josh Norris and
Matthews.
You know I meant to Chuck. It's late. It's almost midnight. Like we're not even doing the Wild West. We're saving it for next week for our West Focus pod.
Absolutely.
Well, we do have a bet for you. Want me to get into it?
Go ahead.
We do have a bet for you. So let me cue the Lucky Duckies.